right there. The energy is like, you can touch it, it's palpable. And, you know, we don't know each other, but everybody knows each other. You know, there's nothing like people coming together for fun, and all of a sudden, you got this lubrication of the human spirit. You get to see how awesome people are.
I just find that biking is a simple solution to a lot of complex problems, and so it was really, really easy. It was a no-brainer. You know, if you think about global climate change, you think about fighting foreign wars, think about obesity in America, lost productivity, you know, to sick days. You think about pollution, smog, traffic. You know, there's a whole host of problems that are easily mitigated with one simple solution: just jump on your bike.
I built racing bikes for 25 years of my life, and I kind of have racing drained from my blood. More interested in the bike as a tool. And I love it as a tool to get across town. And I love it even more when it's a social tool.
The other things that are nice is the money savings. I don't pay for gas, I don't make a car payment, I don't pay for insurance. I made a few $1,000s when I sold my car, so that's all good. I like the health benefits of it, being able to have some peace of mind and get a little bit of exercise for every commute. I actually look forward to my commutes every day. Except for I can't carry as much stuff around. That's really the thing. Like I can't put groceries. I can get like a couple groceries, but like I borrowed my girlfriend's car the other day to go to Food for Less. And it's been so long since I've done anything like that, I can't do anything like that. I can't put people on my bike and ride them around with me, and the rain kind of sucks. But you know, you just buy rain gear, that's what they do in European countries.
I grew up in Marin, and I always rode my bike to junior high, which was about 2 miles away, but I never rode my bike to high school, which was 4 miles away. And it just seemed like an insurmountable task to get to high school.
I lived in Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee is not a very bike-friendly city, and I was just sort of having pretty regular problems and incidents there, particularly as a motorist. There's very little infrastructure there, and motorists in general weren't particularly friendly to cyclists. Some were outright aggressive.
I get hit in 2002, and I did flip over my bike, and I think that it was a kind of a game changer for me. I definitely felt like a little bit on the violated side at that point, like that there was something wrong, and that I had to be. I was never aggressive on my bike, but I felt like it was an important point where I need to be a little more of an aggressive cyclist and walker.
We were also dealing with the cultural challenge of a lot of motorists not believing that cyclists could even legally be on the road. We were often told that, you know, get off the road kind of thing. And even police departments not being educated on what the rules of the road were. I was stopped one time out on a state highway cycling. And I was told by the county sheriff that I wasn't allowed to legally be there, which was actually completely incorrect. But he didn't know the law. Even as a police officer, he hadn't been adequately trained in what are the rules of the road for a cyclist.
You know, after so many close calls on the road, you just kind of start to expect the fact that you're going to have one hand out or something like that and really be kind of, you know, ready to tap somebody on the bumper or in the, really signal that, hey, I'm here, and you can't mess with, you really need to protect this space that I'm in, even though sometimes it's not that protected.
I travel everywhere, almost everywhere with my kids on bikes, you know, and so that's a huge concern for me because their safety's in my hands and they're on their own bikes. So, you know, the more infrastructure we have in place to make their transitions smoother and safer, the easier I can sleep at night.
My little boy got his first bike about 3 months ago.
Okay.
And they ride with me on the back of my bike. So totally stoked about that. I want to train them to do that. They just they don't have a care in the world at this age, so you really have to be their conscience for them. And that's actually what scares me the most. And I'm going to ride in the middle of the road or something like that.
I promote biking and walking to school within our elementary school, mostly through promotion and publicity. I put out signs for car drivers to be more aware of kids on bikes and kids walking to school. And then we have bike breakfasts about once a month that reward good behavior. And I think it's important to get kids to think about these kinds of issues as well, because they are our future, and it's really important for them to be able to get to school easily without having to wait 20 minutes to cross an intersection.
I really think of a mother riding her children to elementary school. That's what bike infrastructure needs to look like for the whole population to start wanting to use it.
I think it's wonderful to live in a place where I arrive at a four-way intersection at the same time as a car, and almost 95% of the time they flag me on, and I've been in other communities where that's not the case at all. Everybody sees each other when they're on bikes, right? And I'm always saying hi to people I see on the road. And when we're cooped up in our cars, we don't communicate as well. We honk, and flash our brights every once in a while, but we don't, say hi. And it's a nice part of community involvement.
A couple of kind of key advocates in the community called for the creation of a bicycle coalition and to do advocacy work and education work. And I was at that very first meeting that we had in the city of SLO with a bunch of folks sitting around just thinking about what are we going to call it and how will it work and what will it do and how will we fund it. Just a bunch of people with ideas at the time and a little bit of money. And since then it's grown into what I think is one of the most respected and effective advocacy organizations operating within the city and the county. When I first started bicycle commuting, it was just a practical matter for me. It was just, I liked riding a bike, so I felt it was kind of enjoyable. But it was also a practical matter. I just needed to get from point A to point B. Parking was difficult, so why not hop on a bike and go do that way?
Take a look at what we're doing. We're going on a ride to nowhere for no reason, and everybody's having a blast. This is a lot different than a training ride. So we started in 2000 with a group about this size. And within a year, we were like 200-300. It's awesome.
Yeah, cycle because it makes sense, but also you have to remember that it's not the answer in all places. Longer trips, carrying a bunch of stuff, bad weather, are all reasons for a car. So as much as you want to be pro-bike, there's lots of places for it. You also have to respect the way everyone else travels and work within that framework as well. So
cycling is part of who I am, it's part of my identity. It's become a passion more than simply a recreational passion. It's something I'm passionate about. Teaching people to cycle. I'm certified by the League of American Bicyclists to teach bicycle education. So I really love to teach people to bike. And our typical student in our classes for adults or somebody who's say in their 40s and who hasn't really been on their bike since they were a kid, and they're a little nervous about getting on a bike on the road. And we have a real high success rate with getting people out on the road. So gives me a real personal sense of satisfaction when I can get another person to get out on their bike. I bike all over the city, and I'm constantly oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. So there's sort of this obsession that develops a little bit in terms of always having this critical eye out there about what's going on.
Just get on a bike and ride. Just find a bike that you like, because then you find excuses to ride.
I can tell you, but I have to kill you. Oh, wait!
Listen to Queen. Get on your bike and ride.
And when the bells start ringing, and the squeakers start squeaking, like a clock or whistle,